also, of course, with the rhythm section, you play with one of the best in Charlie Watts. Can you tell us a little bit about what you love about Charlie and his playing?
Well, Charlie's just, he's such an interesting combination of these elements. You know, he is, well, I mean, he, without, I know Charlie, so I don't want to say something that will embarrass him. But the truth is him along with, Ringo Starr and a few others, probably a number of others, they really invented rock and roll drumming.
Right.
Yeah. And so I took the attitude that I should just listen to him very carefully and try to meld what I'm doing, with him. He is, I don't say that he's not necessarily the only point of contact, but he is my first point of contact, as he was the day that I auditioned for the Stones. I mean, I realized, it was very easy to come into the audition and look at Mick and Keith and go, wow, well, if I want the job, I guess I have to impress them. But that's not the way that I was thinking that day. I really decided if I play well with Charlie, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, great.
And I will also learn, but I thought the first order of business is to play with Charlie. And still to this day, that is really what I do. Not necessarily to the exclusion of anyone else, but that's my first point of contact.
Sure.
He is incredibly steady, but not to the point of being clockish. There is some breathing and some movement, which you miss when you hear sometimes, for instance, you'll be at a wedding and you'll hear a really great wedding band play a Rolling Stones song. And you'll say to yourself, that sounds really good, but it does not have, it lacks a certain swagger that and looseness that is very, very much a part of the Rolling Stone sound. And I think a lot of that starts with Charlie Watts. He has a way of being very, very steady without being metronome-like, which I think is important for almost, almost any kind of music, I really did think for many years that music should be, by the clock and all of that stuff. And the older I get and the more I understand the way music is played, and there should be some breathing, and he's great at that. I think we've learned how to support the band together in a way that is very unique. I just dig it, man. I dig playing with him. We have a lock. I am not the kind of person who will ever, or it's rare when I will, toot my own horn about, the way that I play, but I will toot my horn a bit about the way Charlie Watts and I play together. I think we have something very, very special, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, no question. Toot away on that, because it's incredible. He got the loudest ovation at the end of the show. I mean, the whole crowd just stood up and went, Charlie. Charlie was incredible. Yeah. The other piece for him, not only a great rock drummer, but he's an incredible jazz drummer as well. Did that help your jazz playing, your background playing with Miles? Is that part of the connection as well?
That is definitely part of the connection. We both love jazz music. And I would say, in Charlie's case, though he has been playing rock and roll all of these years, I would say that jazz is probably his first love of music. And so we definitely share those things. We're always talking about this artist or that artist. And in many cases, he's speaking firsthand because he's seen a lot of the jazz greats, for many years before I was even playing. And so that definitely is something that we have in common. You would not know it to look at me, but we also really love clothing.
All right.
You can tell by looking at him, but you can't always tell by looking at me. So we talk about that kind of stuff a lot. We both love to read. We love books.
Okay.
We have a lot in common. He's a really lovely, really funny, in a way that, that obviously a lot of people don't know, but great sense of very, very well developed sense of humor. And we get along great. I have nothing but great things to say about him. He's an elegant fellow, a proper English gentleman. And also, and he's a jazzer and a rock and roller. So